These kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, are things that most people don't think about, but they think about them when they need them and they can no longer find them. This is one of 2 times per year that my truck gets a wash, so I thought I'd share with you.
Nice.
Thank you, Genesis Gold Group, for sponsoring this video. Hello, YouTubers. Alaska Prepper here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, it's only about 5:30 in the morning right now, and look at the sky. Beautiful day. The sun has not come up yet. And when I say the sun has not come up, it has not gone over that ridge line over there, if you can see it in the distance. So it's turning out to be a very nice day. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun today. I thought we'd do a little bit of show and tell. I thought I'd show you how the chicken coop is coming along. All right. I do believe I found square yesterday, and today I'm going to start building the pillars and the first floor. All right. Or the floor. So I think I've changed this chicken coop location a couple of times. This is where it's going to end up resting. This is right behind my house. And you'll be able to see here that it's where I had my potatoes planted last year. Let me show you. I ended up ordering about 5 yards of dirt. And this dirt right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up leveling this dirt out with the bottom of the chicken coop right there. And this here is going to be the run right here. This is going to be the run. Chicken coop's going to be right here. That's an 8x8. For those of you that are wondering what this is here, there's just a pipe that lets my septic field or my leach field for my septic tank vent. So this is not how I'm making it. I was just trying to find square. So the reason that I have these 4x4s on there is I was just trying to find square. And these 4x4s are actually going to end up being like pillars, like legs. All right, so this is what my plan is for today. I'm going to go ahead and build the pillars and build the first floor, or the floor again, of the chicken coop. And then here, this is my little setup that I have. Every year I set up my 2 horses, my 2 plastic horses. You can see them under there. My little air compressor. And guess what I power everything with, ladies and gentlemen? The Opus 2400 will be living here for this building season. That's how I will power it. I've got my solar panels set up, which should be plenty of energy coming into this 2400 to where I never have to charge it with an AC cord for the entire summer. And it will power my little air compressor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that I can put this video out later on today, which is Sunday. So tomorrow, be on the lookout, because tomorrow I have a video dropping of me reviewing the Opus Mega 5. And that thing is a monster. That's all I have to say about it. But as you can see right here, I have this old door that was all beat up. So that's my platform where I put my saw and I put any other tools that I want to keep up off the floor. I don't know if you ever saw me review the Opus 2400. That one right there. The one that I like to call the Beast. But these solar panels, I have one more that I have to bring out. They bring in roughly, well, they're rated for about 240 watts. And they bring in a pretty good amount, probably about 200 watts on a good sunny day. I think today is going to be a nice sunny day, right? But, you know, to tell you the truth, between the compressor and my saw, this won't drain that much energy from the Opus 2400. Right? It won't drain that much energy from it. Some people think that it may. The good thing about the Opus 2400 and using these power tools is that it takes the surge of power. It takes that first surge, no problem. But as far as using it, when you think about it, when you use a miter saw or a saw or a compressor, you're not using it for hours straight, you know, continuous usage. You're using it for a few seconds, especially like a saw. When you make a cut, it's what, maybe 1 second, 2-3 seconds long, right? The compressor lasts a little bit longer depending on how low it is, but it's not for a long time. So believe it or not, today I probably won't use more than 10 or maybe even 15% of the capacity of that Opus 2400. I'm not a financial advisor, but the folks at Genesis Gold Group specialize in helping those who want to diversify their excess wealth by converting their fiat currency retirement plans into a plan that is backed by real money. So if you're in a position where you are wondering what you can do in order to diversify or insulate your wealth against what I like to call the inferno of inflation, give Genesis Gold Group a call, and they can provide you with the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. Look at what I just noticed. The yellow jackets are out. We have a nest of these guys somewhere around here, and they don't look very friendly. They must have gotten trapped under that plastic that I had on this last night and said goodbye to the world. But here's my plow. I went ahead and took the plow off my Tundra. This, ladies and gentlemen, is money in the bank right here. Check this out. This is all of the construction material that I ordered for this year, and of course I'll probably end up needing a lot more. But I ordered OSB at a really good price, and I ordered an entire pallet of plywood as well. I've got a lot of roofing material here, as you can see. I even ordered some pipes for water. I ordered some additional ABS pipes because the pipe that I use to put water into my house is starting to look a little old, and it's one of these old ABS black 1.5 inch pipes. And this is going to be the color of the roof of the chicken coop. And then I ordered extra ones of these, of the clear ones, just in case I need it to repair holes in my greenhouse and such. And I knew that this would come in handy, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is a window that I took off of an old door that was going to the transfer site. And before I brought it to the transfer site, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to need this window for. This was a couple of years ago. So I took it off that door and I just laid it to the side here, hoping that it wouldn't break or anything like that. And here it is. And we will be using this for the chicken coop. More than likely, I'll end up taking off this little... This right here is for cosmetic purposes. This has no structural integrity or anything like that whatsoever. So I'll probably end up taking this off right here, so it can be a full size window. This will be a picture window for the chickens because it's so big compared to them. And for those of you that were with me last year before winter started, this here is one of the walls of the chicken coop. It's going to have a high wall, which will be this 8-foot tall wall, and it's going to have a short wall, which is what these 2x6s are laid out for. That's going to be a 6-foot wall, right? And then it's going to have a slanted roof, just like the bunker. Ladies and gentlemen, the mosquitoes are out in droves. And I think it's only going to get worse because it's still kind of chilly outside. Usually they don't start coming out until the sun comes up fully and it starts getting nice and warm. But man, look, you see this right here? That's called a thermocell. You need to get one of those. I have these on my Amazon storefront, and these are a lifesaver, especially if you live in an area like Alaska where the mosquito is the state bird. These things work awesome. And the reason I say this on my Amazon storefront is because some people don't even know what these are, right? I was actually talking to someone, a person around my age here in Fairbanks the other day, and we were talking about mosquitoes. And I told him, I says, do you have a thermocell? He's like, what is that? And I'm like, you don't know what a thermocell is? How long have you lived here in Alaska? And he's been here for a long time, longer than me. So I told him what it is. And he's like, oh, I definitely have to go get me one of those. So I think I'm going to go buy him one at Sportsman's Warehouse today and gift it to him next time I see him, probably sometime next week. But some people just don't even know what they are. But they are a lifesaver, a lifesaver. These are boxes of nails that are suited for the 21-degree nail gun. I have a 21-degree nail gun, a Hitachi, I believe it is, and it takes 21-degree nails, right? Now, these are made in Poland. They're not even made here in the U.S., ladies and gentlemen. So if you take a look at this price right here, the original price was $190-something. Let me check. $193.55 for 5,000 nails. I went to Lowe's a few days back to check on my order, that wood order that I just showed you here earlier. And these were on the floor for half off for $98. And the reason why I was looking for nails is because when I placed my order, I had ordered 2 boxes of framing nails. Now, these are not necessarily framing nails, okay? I'll tell you what they are here in a second. But they are in a way, but not really. Not what I would use them for, not to frame like a house. So I went to look for, I was like, hey, you guys didn't send me my 2 boxes of framing nails that I ordered. And they checked their computer and they're like, yeah, we didn't have them in stock. I'm like, okay. So I wanted to make sure that we were both tracking that I had not received them. And they said, as soon as we get them, we'll go ahead and give you a call or we'll bring them by. I'm like, okay, great. And he said, do you need nails in a hurry right now? And I'm like, no, not really, not just yet. I said, I have some. I just like to always order more than what I'm going to need for that year. That way I can keep stocking them up. So he showed me these, and I was like, well, these are 21 degrees. And he says, well, these are on markdown because someone ordered them by mistake, and we got 5 boxes of these. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with them? He said, nothing. Somebody just ordered them by mistake. So I took a look at them, and the thing is that these are only 2 3/8 inch nails, long nails. You really don't want to be doing any framing with that. Now I'm going to use some of these nails for when I build the chicken coop because they're going to be great to hold things together that I intend on putting a bolt through. So they're going to be great for that. But there's a whole bunch of things that you can do with these smaller nails. Imagine what an awesome barter item this would be. I mean, this can be used for sheathing. If you want to use it for sheathing, it's only 2 3/8 inch, which 2 3/8 is just shy of 2.5 inches. So you're still getting plenty of meat past that 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch piece of plywood if you use these. But anyways, there's a whole bunch of uses for these. And I ended up getting these for less than 75% of the original price. So they were marked down by 50% to 90-something dollars. And then I told the guy, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $50 per box and I'll buy 4 boxes. I ended up buying 4 boxes of these. And when he went to do the math and talk to his manager about it, they ended up giving them to me for $48 a box. So ladies and gentlemen, these nails ended up costing me less than 1 penny per nail. Now, what's the key here? What I told you in the beginning, these nails are made in Poland. I honestly don't know, and I haven't done this research as to, do we have any factories in the United States that make nails, that make screws, all right? So that's what I was thinking when I looked at these. I was like, wow, less than 1 penny per nail. How much would it cost you to make one nail, ladies and gentlemen? Probably a lot more than a penny. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you remember looking for a small nut or for a small bolt or washer and you just couldn't find one? Get them now. Look at this. This is such an awesome deal. This one comes with 710 pieces. Stainless steel bolts with nuts and washers. Same thing with these. These are just smaller sizes. 810 pieces, all stainless steel. These are Phillips head. These were all about 20 bucks a piece. This is the kind of stuff right here that gets imported, unfortunately, that's going to be very valuable, especially if you're a handyman or if you know a handyman. They're going to be looking for these all over the place because one of 2 things will happen. Once the dollar loses most of its value, this is going to become 5 or 10 times more expensive. Number 1, we won't be able to import it because other countries are just going to cut us off because our currency is no good. Number 2, and if it does get made here in the United States, or if they do start making them again here in the United States, it's going to take a long time before they get up and running. So store these things that you can now, right? They don't take up much room. Look at how small these packages are. They don't take up much room. You can store them now. Like I said before, I'd rather have my $20 bill in this than a $20 bill in the bank that won't be able to buy me half of one of these next year. And look at another one that people just don't think about until they need them. I always forget the name of these little pins. These little, I think, what are they called? Hitch pins? Yeah. All right. So these pins, how many times have you been looking for one of these? I remember looking for one of these last year. I was like, man, I'm going to have to go all the way to Lowe's just to get me this, 25-cent penny item, right? 150 of them. I think this was like $9.99. These kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, are things that most people don't think about. But they think about them when they need them and they can no longer find them. I plan on doing a small plumbing project this summer. So I went ahead and got me some extra fittings for 3/4 inch PVC. I also got some extra glue. Now this glue, I have a couple of these and I make sure to keep these under the house and not keep them outside. If you let these freeze over the winter, they are still good if they're really well sealed, but not just as good as they should be for a plumbing project where you want to make sure that nothing leaks in the future, okay? If it's something that you're going to be using like outside, like the other day I did a very small plumbing project, maybe I'll show it to you later on, is where I took an old pump that I had and I connected it to a 55-gallon barrel so that I can have a hose outside with some pressure coming out of it. Something like that, yeah, not that big of a deal. I used some old glue on that plumbing project, but if it leaks out here, who cares? But if you're going to be making sure that you're going to do it inside, make sure that you use something that you haven't allowed to freeze over. Of course, this is always nice to have some Teflon tape. You just never know when you're going to need it for those little odd places. Like, let's say you were installing your reverse osmosis system under your sink and you needed a little bit of Teflon tape to connect the water connection that goes from your sink to your reverse osmosis, etc. Right? But it's just nice having a little bit of this. This goes a very long way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't know what's in here. I have an idea because there's electrical stuff just from looking at it real quick when I opened this box up yesterday. But I just figured I'd bring this out and show you what I got in there. And the reason being is that it gives people ideas. You know, I hope that it's at least a little bit entertaining, but it gives people ideas as to, hey, maybe I should pick some of these up because what if I have an outlet or something that goes bad and I can't find these later on? And they're just a few cents now, or at least they were cents when I bought them. They're probably dollars now. There's really no need showing you this. This is just a piece of leftover linoleum, a paint roller. I have some of these under the tent. I'll be putting this with his brothers and sisters. This is some chalk for my line. You know, one of those lines that you snap and it leaves a line. There's some chalk. I'm glad that I'm going through this actually, because a lot of this stuff I'm going to be leaving out for my projects this summer. These are some of the nails that you use for brackets. I'm definitely going to be needing these. And the thing is, I have another one of these, but I always buy more than what I'm going to need. So that's why I have all these extras. A couple of LED light bulbs. These electrical outlet boxes are very nice if you're like me and you don't like to put outlets inside the walls. I don't like putting outlets or switches inside the walls in my house unless it's in an interior wall. But any perimeter wall, I don't like to put any interior outlets or switches because to me, and it's just the way I'm thinking, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, is that if you have these inside exterior walls, it takes away from that insulation. Even that little bit of space, is taking away from insulation. So I stock up on a few of these switches. Very easy. I really like these. I have a whole bunch of these covers that used to cost like 29 cents and now they're over $1 each. And these are the covers that I do use for the switches that I have on my interior walls. Look, a thermocell baggie. When you buy that thermocell, it comes with a baggie for your pads and stuff, but I just took and filled it up with all of these outlets, right? These are 15 amp outlets. So, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I think I used to buy these in packs of 10. I don't even know if you, and they were like less than $10 for a pack of 10. I think it was like $6 or $7. I doubt that you'll be able to find these for 60, 70 cents a piece now. So I'm glad that I saved these up when I did. Because what I used to do when I was building a house, whenever I'm doing a project, if I only need 2 or 3 of these, I'll buy a pack of 10. And then I'll take the rest and I'll put them away. Now this is a very neat little gadget. What this is this is an alarm for if something gets wet. So like, for example, if you want to put this under your sink and this little pad right here, you just put it anywhere where you think it might get wet first. If you had a leak, an alarm will go off letting you know that this got wet. So very neat little thing to have right here. Look at this. I don't even remember putting this in there. I don't even know how old this is, ladies and gentlemen, but there's still liquid in there. And I do have that Zippo that Mr. Tom sent me a few years back that this can be used for. Now this here is what I call a Mighty Mouse, right? So for those of you that don't know what this is just a tool that you attach to some air, and every time that you press this in, it punches in. It goes like this, bop, 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 and it punches in or hammers in whatever nail you put in between there. So this is your nail, you put it on, and it'll hammer it in. I call it the Mighty Mouse. I don't know what its real name is. Random tools. Little wire cutter, very nice to have, nice and small, which will fit in your back pocket really easy if you're kneeling down or something like that, working with electrical. Some more splicers. some heat tape, very nice to have in case you're doing some splicing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's not that much more in this total. A lot of the same stuff that had in the other ones. That have some more wire, which is very nice because I'm going to be doing a wiring project this summer. And if you have taken a look at the prices of wire, it is incredible. 15 feet, $31. It's incredible, the prices. So a few of the other things that I have that I think is pretty good idea to have some extra of, some foam, some drop cloth, but there's the plastic one, all right? I remember I had to get this because I had to wire a thermostat for the heater that I got as a backup, the LP heater. This is very nice because it allowed me to have no vents coming out of the roof of my house. So instead of venting my plumbing through a vent that goes all the way out through the roof of your house, I just use these instead, like for my sink and my shower and even for my washer, right? These things work great, so I just got an extra one just in case the vent inside of it, see, it's like a little gasket inside or a valve inside that allows it to breathe in but not out, so that your water can properly vent through your pipes. I got an extra one just in case one of them goes bad. I can replace it really quick and then replace the one that I have as a backup. Nothing wrong with having an extra shower head, right? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going into is not going to be the end of the world, okay? What we are going into is going to be a time when our nation and a lot of other Western nations are going to turn into like third world countries. And it all has to do with the monetary system. It all has to do with the value of the money. And you have to be living under a rock if you don't understand that the United States government has abused the Federal Reserve note for decades. And now, you know, the chickens are coming home to roost, right? They're coming home to roost, meaning that we're going to have to pay the price of all of the abuse that the government did toward the dollar, the Federal Reserve note, in our name for the last several decades. And what does that mean? That means that our standard of living, because the value of the dollars that we earn, will be going down. It will be going down a lot more than what we've been used to for the last 50, 60, 100 years, let's say. So getting these little things now that may seem elementary now, these things are the things that you're going to wish you had, because these are the little things that we never think about until we need them. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I probably made this video about 5.5 hours long, so I'm going to have to edit it down to about 8 or 9 minutes. Just kidding. Definitely made this video too long, but this was just hanging out. I hope that you're having a great Sunday. And remember, tomorrow I will be putting up a video reviewing the Opus Mega 5, and that machine is pretty awesome. So don't miss that review. Even if you're not in the market for a solar generator, that machine is awesome. Having said that, have a great rest of your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining in as always. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.